This is the Our Town with Troy by North Alabama's podcast. I wish there was a different word for excited because I think we overused the word. I don't know, I've been very much anticipating this interview because I think Camryn Suggs, who is here, she's a general manager at Valentina's.
Yes.
And what intrigues me with your story, even though we don't know the full story yet, we're going to hear some of your story today, is you can never judge a book by its cover. It's kind of, I think, what summarizes you, perhaps, right? So if somebody came into Valentina's Pizzeria right now, which is about 4 miles west of where I live on Browns Ferry, easy to get there. Joe Carlucci, the owner, has been on this show 3-4 times. And he is by far the most popular guest as far as numbers and watching and stuff. It might just be him watching.
Probably just him.
100 times. But, if you were to be a customer and you come in and you start to get to know the staff and then you meet Camryn Suggs, the general manager who's from Huntsville, you'll just, I don't know, in your mind, you may just go to wherever. Oh, she must have been in the restaurant business her whole life and everything. So this is what I want to do. Before I get you to comment, I'm just going to kind of quickly go backwards in your bio.
Okay.
And then we'll start when you're young, because I think this is really important. Because you're always like, well, we could start with that, but you have to go back to understand how Camryn got to where she's at. Yeah. So she is the general manager at Valentina's last 4 or 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Come up on 5, yeah.
And you started there because you had graduated law school in Tennessee, in Knoxville, and you wanted to make some money on the side because it's expensive to live here. Right. And to pay down your debts from school. But before that, you went to UAH, which is great because we just had Kate Smith in here, who's the director of athletics. Yes. And UAH girls, I think, did they win it all, or they finished they went to the Final Four for women's basketball?
Oh wow, that's incredible.
For their Division 2. And what was your undergrad in again?
Business and cybersecurity.
That's right. I knew that.
You're good.
I did know that. And before that, you're a figure skater growing up, et cetera, right? Yeah. But so my point is, if someone just labels you, oh, you've been in the restaurant business and that's great, but no, you went to law school, you actually have a business background, cybersecurity background. And then one would say, well, how did you end up at Valentina's? But it's also very indicative, I guess, of our society now. Certainly not for me growing up, we didn't have the internet like we do now. To be able to hear people's stories and say, ooh, there could be an alternative path to something, right? Or just because I go to law school doesn't mean I have to I'm going to do this my whole career. I may use it as a stepping stone, or I might leverage it. But let's. I got some dust over there. Hope that doesn't mind.
It's okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. So and you have one brother, you have one sister, right?
The youngest of 3, yep.
And which part of Huntsville did you grow up in?
Monrovia area. So born and raised. I'm one of the anomalies now, I guess. Usually people are surprised to know that you're actually from Huntsville. But yeah, grew up in Monrovia, went off for law school, and then came back during COVID. So
remind me where Monrovia is. I should know.
10 minutes from here. Literally on the other side of 72.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So north.
Yes, Harvest area.
Old railroad.
Yes.
Right.
Not too far from Madison at all. Literally right here.
Okay. Gotcha. And then what high school did you go to?
A little bit.
You went to Westminster Christian Academy.
Yes.
Right.
So it's always funny. We have a joke in my family that I never graduated because my freshman and sophomore year I went to Westminster, great school, but I was ready to kind of move on.
That's right.
And I was really, really serious about skating then. So I wanted, good ice time and, all that good stuff. Westminster was great. But then junior and senior year, I actually convinced my parents to go homeschool. So I did dual enrollment with Calhoun, and I did it that way. It's funny because my diploma came in the mailbox. So
right.
Yeah.
No ceremony.
No, it was great. I never actually went to any of my graduations. So.
But you got to keep skating.
Yes. Yep.
Actually, I'm going to bring this up right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know when I would bring this up, but I'm going to switch over because your senior year, there was 2015 graduating seniors, excellence abounds, and you won bronze level. So this says, U.S. Figure Skating's Program Development Committee is elated to once again recognize a record number of high school students as part of its graduating seniors program. Students received this distinction for their achievements on the ice and their commitment in the classroom, which was at your home, right? This year, or the full body of it. This year, the committee bestowed this accolade on more than 665 graduating seniors. But I'm going to imagine, were you the only one in Huntsville?
Yes. Yep.
And it's truly an honor for myself and the rest of the committee to be part of this recognition that U.S. Figure Skating proudly bestows on its accomplished student athletes, says Dorothy Tank. And there you are. The proof is, I have another tab here. There you are, Camryn Suggs. The SC stands for
Skating Club.
The Skating Club.
Yes.
But yeah, this is it's like anything in athletics. Like there are only so few that really excel at something. You know, and for you to think, oh, this whole country and there's all these skaters out there, you're the only one that year
about that.
from Huntsville.
Yeah, it was great. I was a part of an incredible skating club. I had an incredible coach, Ginger. We had an incredible director, Dita. They're still there. It was actually, I went on Sunday to judge a Special Olympics competition.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, it's an incredible club over there. And people usually don't think of ice skating in Huntsville.
Yeah.
So it was a really good experience. It was 10 plus years of my life of 6 a.m. practices and going to school, and you look back and you think, how did you do it?
Yeah.
How did you do it? But it was very incredible. Yeah.
So what time did you wake up each morning to make a 6 a.m. practice?
God bless my mother. She would take me before school. So we would leave. I mean, we lived roughly 30 minutes from the rink. So we would leave the house around 5:15, go before school. I would skate in the morning, leave the rink at 7:15.
She's waiting for you?
Yes.
Wow.
Always. Yep.
They make documentaries about this guy.
Yes. She would take me in, and then she would have breakfast in the car waiting for me after I got off the ice. I would change in the car on the way to school, drop me off at 7:45. And then either my mom, my dad, my sister, actually, she picked me up some after school too at 2:00, go back to the rink, skate until about 6:40, and then go home, do homework, do it all over again.
So this started when you were 8 or 7?
No, about 10.
10.
So I was a late skater, so to speak. But it was something that my mom actually skated when she was younger. And I did everything from dance to gymnastics to everything. My brother and sister were actually incredible baseball and softball players. So everyone assumed I would do softball and then being raised at the ballpark. But I went a completely different route, and it was incredible. I mean, I had a little bit of a catch up game to play, but like I said, I had an incredible community and, incredible parents that always, they would push me, but it was what I wanted to do. It wasn't one of those like dance mom scenarios. So it was incredible. Yeah, they were very, very supportive of it. And I did everything from shows to a few competitions. And then I coached. I did Special Olympics. I coached them. It was an incredible program that they have grown a lot over there. Heidi and Ann have done an incredible job with that team. So, yeah. What
inspired you? Was it the Olympics? Like, how did you're sitting there, your siblings are playing other sports. What's it impresses you to say, I really think I want to do figure skating?
Yeah, it was something that I was kind of like always knew of. And like I said, my mom did it.
Well, that's true, right?
A little bit, but she wasn't like, my parents never like really pushed us to do, I did this as a kid. Like they pushed us in ways of what we wanted to do and find our own way and our own path, which was incredible. But it was literally just a random, hey, we have this class. And I actually went with one of my best friends at the time, Miranda, and we started learn to skate classes together, and it just took off. It was something that I was like, okay, I found my thing that, I don't have to be in the 100-degree weather at the ballpark anymore.
So your mom basically plants the seed. It's just as far as knowing.
Yes.
But did you also like watch it on TV?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was always a part of my life. My grandmother, she loved figure skating. She would always, watch it on TV and stuff like that. So, and again, you don't really think of North Alabama and ice skating. Yeah. So we didn't really understand how big the program was and how many opportunities and ice time that there was in classes. I mean, they even have adult classes now, so it's never too late to start and get involved.
Where's the rink?
Over off Lehman Ferry. So it's right there by Parkway Place Mall.
Okay.
They're actually in the middle of an expansion project. It's incredible. They're adding, I think, another sheet of ice. They're really big into curling now. They have a whole curling team out there. When I went Sunday, it was kind of like a flashback moment because it's literally a whole new arena. And I was like, wow, this would have been nice when I was a kid. Yeah. So they're doing incredible things over there for sure. Yeah,
I just interviewed Joel Lamp from the Huntsville Madison Convention Visitor Bureau and the Huntsville Sports Commission. And he's in the Rocket City Curling Club.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
It's really taken off. And so then ice wise or like hockey? Do you go to like Havoc games? Is
Yes.
that kind of your? No, you're not really huge into sports, but that one that's like an exception.
Yes. So UAH has a great team. They have a club team now. When I was in school at UAH, it was I think they were D1, I believe. And now it switched to club, but they have a great program. They would practice there some, but they have a great relationship with the VBC, or at least in my time, they did. The Havoc is at the VBC. Sometimes, like when we had like the weird like rodeo at the VBC or something, and their ice time got weird, they would come over to the rink and all that good stuff. But we have a couple of programs, but like I said, it's really grown now. When I was there Sunday, there was probably 100 people on the ice for curling on the other rink. So it was great to see that it's not just kind of fizzling out, and the city and community have put the effort and the time and the funding in it. Yeah. Because usually Alabama and winter sports don't go together.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, every now and then there's this athlete in the Olympics, and you're like, what?
Yeah, you're
how did that work?
How do you do that? Yeah.
Well, it's like on my list of things to observe, and I don't know why I've never even gone on to YouTube, but I want to watch them like fill the ice in the arena, in the rink.
It's a very
I've never seen them do that.
Yeah, it's a very cool process. Actually, probably 10 years ago now, they redid the ice and they were painting it, and they asked if I wanted to paint it. I said yeah. So every time I went on the ice, I painted that stripe right there. It's a whole big process. It's very, very cool, and the science behind it and everything. It's an incredible process. You don't think it's just ice,
One of the fun things about going to those games is when they have like the dog races or the babies crawl, and it just like takes forever to finish the race or finish the heat. It's a great idea, but don't have too many dogs because
they get distracted.
2 or 3 of them won't even leave the starting line, and
they're like, it's crazy.
Like herding cats.
It's funny though.
That's awesome. I was kind of thinking before you came over, just a few things, like the crazy stories or the crazy things that have happened in my life now that I'm 50, but the whole Nancy Kerrigan thing and Tonya Harding was what? The story breaks and she's attacked her. It's figure skating. What is the deal?
Hey, it's cutthroat. It is very, it's an interesting world. That's for sure. It's, we had a saying, and it will show my age to understand what this saying means, but it's drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, sure.
And it was a couple of people that, drink the Kool-Aid, and it's like, you have to do this and you have to do that. And there was some very strict people. But like I said, my parents were incredible. My coaching staff was incredible. Like I said, Ginger, she was my coach from day one. Ironically, she actually coached my mom when she was skating too. So it was like a full circle moment. But completely incredible people. But I mean, you have that with every sport and everything. You always have the couple of crazies. So it's entertaining though. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. And hats off to the parents. I don't know why, I'm a huge snowboarder, and Shaun White's family was all in on him.
Yes. And people don't understand the family sacrifice. I mean, I was nowhere near that level, but still my mom getting up at 5, or she would get up at 4 so she could get ready and, make lunches and all that. And then take me to ice time before school, take me to school, work all day. She had, a full-time job. And then pick me up after school, and then still homework and dinner and all that. I was actually talking to her the other day about it, of how did you do it all? Because you had multiple kids. I had my brother, my sister, and me, and she was like, we just made it work. You just make it happen.
Did she ever complain?
No, God, no. My mom and my dad both. They just made it happen. They never, ever were like, oh, we have to do this, or whatever. They always, very fortunate that way.
So let's right now skip over UAH and just go into law school. But what discipline of law did you study or want to practice?
Yeah, so for law, you just get a general law degree. You don't have to specialize in anything. So I went to Lincoln Memorial University up in Knoxville. It's a very small little private Christian school. Our dean was actually the former Chief Justice of the Tennessee Supreme Court. Okay. He actually led Bible studies on Monday for us. So it was a very different law school experience, and I wanted that. When I was visiting other law schools, it's, you hear the cutthroat stories and you watch Legally Blonde and stuff. Yeah. And, it's already a stressful time. So I wanted a little bit of a smaller school. And then, like I said, our dean is, the top of the top, and he's leading a Bible study. So that was important to me. But I did a little bit of everything in law school because I wanted to you go in thinking, oh, I want to do this. And then you find something else. But also with LMU, I was very fortunate that it's a lot of practical learning. So they put us out of the classroom a lot. We had internships. I interned for the Tennessee Supreme Court, or the Criminal Court of Appeals, excuse me. absolutely incredible experience. Was able to sit in on things that I never, thought I would be able to help write opinions. It was an incredible experience. So I did that a little bit. I did everything from property law to real estate to wills and trusts to family law to criminal law. I interned over in the DA's office in Morgan County. Incredible team over there. So I really did everything.
Yeah.
'Cause you never know until you know.
Kind of searching for the thing that hits.
Yes. Yeah. The one thing that really pulled on my heart that I never really changed my mind on is juvenile law. It's an unfortunate area of law that we have to have. But a lot of the times if, the court finds that in the situation that there's children in the situation that they need representation and they need someone to have their back, so to speak, they'll appoint an attorney for them to look out at their best interest. And it pulls on your heart in a different way that these kids are just wrapped up in a situation with adults acting like children. But I've always had a love for that and always been drawn back to that, so to speak. So that's always an incredible, like I said, an unfortunate area of law that we need to have, but a really incredible and fulfilling. It's the cheesy change the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these kids are resilient and they shouldn't have to be as resilient as they are. But yeah, so a little bit of everything, that's for sure.
Are there any, did you work some cases then on that?
Yes.
And are you still like in contact with those kids or now maybe
one of
teens or
them,
adults?
yes. One of them, you try and hold on tight to them, but it's also, at the end of the day, they have to, you have to dance on that fine line a little bit. But I had the opportunity to do a couple of cases and it was still at the top of my list of the most fulfilling. One young lady is actually at Auburn now and she's studying to be a nurse and she's, thriving and living great. And it's just, she didn't let her circumstances change her whole life. Cause it's easy to just be like, oh, I was dealt with a crappy bad or hand of cards and I'll just let it be. But she really pushed to go forward and this won't define me. I can, make a change for my life and be better. So yeah, she's at nursing or she's going to be a nurse and she's off at Auburn right now. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay. So like right before you come to Valentina's to start working on the weekends and stuff, you're working then you passed the bar.
Yes.
And you're working, you're doing some of these cases.
Yeah.
And then it really was just, I think it was just innocently, I just need to make some more money.
Yeah.
What were you just looking at restaurants and kind of like, obviously Valentina's is a higher quality product. So, there's going to be bigger tips than if you're pumping out some pizzas at some $5, chain, right? But, was it just kind of that? Like, hey, I want to work a restaurant, maybe just make some cash or were you looking at other like part-time work?
No, it was kind of something that just fell in my lap. My parents actually live like 4 miles from Valentina's too. And at that time I was in the middle of, I just graduated and I was working at a local firm with incredible, but an associate attorney salary is hard. You have to build yourself up. And so Joe posted about hiring and it just literally fell into my lap and it was something like I could not think of. I was like, well, I could do that, on weekends or after hours or whatever and help pay back law school and, all that because I went to a private Christian school. So law school's expensive as is, but then after that it's even more. Yeah. I had incredible, like I said, parents, they helped me through it and they paid for things and, I got scholarships and stuff too, but I'm one of those people that don't like to have debt on me. So I wanted to pay it back as quick as possible. So I was like, I'm young. I can work. I can do it. Yeah. Okay. So I reached out to Joe, initially hired me as a server. I joke with him all the time as the interview was awful because he was like, what, you're an attorney? Like he was so confused. He was like, what are you doing here? No work experience because I skated, so I was very fortunate growing up that, my parents said school is your job and, activities, stuff like that. Be a kid while you can be a kid. So I didn't have to work. I coached growing up. So I had, some sort of like work ethic, I guess you could say, but I never had like that traditional serving job or working at Publix, or whatever. So like my work experience was just attorney stuff. So he was like, what are you doing here? He was like, all right, I'll give you a shot, and then I guess the rest is history. Started off as a server, served for about a year. And then somehow I ended up here.
It's funny. It's too bad you didn't know him better because you could have just like done a retort of like, you don't even know how to boil water. Yeah. Those are his words. You know, like,
yeah, he always jokes. He's like, I heard her. She didn't know how to walk and chew gum. She, what? You know, I was like, well, like it worked out somehow. You know, I figured it out. That's for sure. Yeah.
So then, so talk me through then that I guess you're having these moments where you're leaving, you know, that shift and you're going back to your job. Like, what's going through your mind on time frame, or should I do this? Should I really, like, you know, ask Joe, whatever, if I can just go on full time?
Yeah. So I initially started full time with him. I was working all day, and then I would come and serve all night, and then on the weekends.
Okay.
And then I switched as like my caseload was picking up, and then, you know, all the craziness of life, I switched to just weekends. And then I was serving, goodness, probably for about a year-ish, because I came on right before the 1 year anniversary, and we're going to turn 6 in October. So yeah, about roughly a year. I was trying to contemplate. I was in family law at the time, and family law takes a certain heart. It takes a certain person, especially with divorce cases and all that. Like, you know, you have the adults acting like children. It takes a certain heart, and it's a certain area that you really have to be called to do. But it was just, you know, it was draining, and I had some other opportunities lined up, and I was trying to figure out, you know, what's my next move? Do I want to go back to the DA's office? Do I want to do my own thing? You know, I had some stuff back in Tennessee that, you know, because I went to school in Tennessee. Usually after law school, you kind of stay where you graduate, just because you create all your connections there throughout all law school. So I had a couple people up there reaching out. You know, I had one guy really, you know, wanting me to come on to his firm. So I was trying to just figure out my next move. During this time, it was October-ish. So, you know, during that holiday season, it's hard to transfer jobs and stuff. And I was very, very fortunate where I was financially stable. I didn't have to like make any rash decisions. So I talked to Joe about it, because he noticed. He was like, something's on your mind. You know, he's a very observant person. So I told him, I'm going to, you know, take a break, figure out my next step. Like, I have some opportunities, but I don't know. You know, I'm going to go through the end of the year, and then January kind of figure out which path, you know, kind of figure out what I really want to do. And then in that time, he took me over to the now Valentina spot, the new brick and mortar we have. We were over by the gas station, you know, and he was like, well, I bought that piece of land. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, great. What you going to do with it? You know? And he was like, I'm going to build the Valentinas. You know, we've outgrown that place. We were doing incredible numbers in this tiny 1,000 square foot place.
It's like a miracle.
Yeah. I was looking back. I'm like, how did we do it? But yeah, I was like, oh, that's incredible. He was like, well, what do you think about in these couple months? You kind of help me out, you know, kind of get the contractors in order, or help kind of step into a GM-ish role, kind of contractor role, you know, a little bit of jack of all trades role. And I said, yeah, sure. You know, I'd love to. You know, Joe's one of those people that when he holds on to you, he holds on to you tight. You know, he takes care of his people. That's for sure. So I said, yeah, sure. And it just kind of turned into this great big thing. And then he sat down. He was like, hey, you know, I want to offer you full time. You know, I really value you here. I want you to be a part of the team. And we kind of hashed out everything, and it turned into me running the whole store and helping him run everything and do everything and grow. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I laugh all the time, because I'm like, how did I end up here? Like, and he always tells people that I'm an attorney. I never introduce, I always just say, hey, I'm Camryn. You know, I never really introduce the title or anything. And he comes up behind me like, yeah, you know, she's an attorney, right? And people think he's kidding. Like, people are like, wait, what? And I'm like, I really am. Like, I passed the bar. Like, I could, you know, I practice, you know, I still do stuff on the side, you know, stuff like that. And they're like, oh. And then the question is, well, how did Joe me? It's always the question of, wait, what? How did you end up here?
You prevented from going to jail a few times.
Yeah.
And then he
never
owes
know.
you.
He keeps me on my toes. That's for sure. His favorite line is, "It's fine. You're an attorney. You can get me out of it."
Let me ask you this: in that process, I may know the answer, but who are you consulting with and talking to and saying, "I got this idea. What do you think? You think I'm crazy?" Like,
yeah.
Kind of who's your cheerleaders that you lean on?
Yeah, my parents, of course. My siblings are great. I'm very, very fortunate and blessed to have an incredible family. Never once did my parents be like, okay, so you're going from an attorney field. You know, you kind of have this plan for your kids, or, you know, I assume I don't have kids yet. You kind of have this idea, you know, I go to law school and I passed the bar, and, you know, you kind of have that path. You know, I love law. I still, I stay up to date on everything and take CLEs and all that. And like I said, I still do some stuff on the side when I can, because Joe keeps me pretty busy. But it was never a, hey, like, so what you doing now? Like, it was always just a, hey, are you happy? Are you taken care of? That's all that matters type of thing. So I was very, very fortunate with that, because it's hard, mm-hmm. It would have been easy to be like, no, you're an attorney. You're going to stay in this, safe, normal job.
Yeah.
You went to law school. You spent all that money. Like, no. But they know what the type of person Joe is, and they know how well he takes care of me and his people and his staff, and, how he really puts us first. So it was never a, what the crap are you doing? It was a, hey, okay. Like, it was never anything but support. And of course now they love it because, pizza, who doesn't love pizza? They were actually in the other night.
Are they like towards Athens, like towards Buc-ee's?
Towards Madison, like towards James Clemens area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So super, super close. My brother lives out in like Hazel Green area. My sister is in Athens. So all very, very close. But yeah, it was never a, what are you doing? Like, what? It was just a, hey, you do you. I mean, I think my parents especially have always kind of known I kind of do my own thing. I mean, when I wanted to switch to homeschooling, I literally made a PowerPoint presentation for my parents of like, hey, this is how much money you're saving. Like, this is what I'm going to do. So like, they kind of just, let it be. And like I said, I was happy. I was taken care of, and it was fine. So
yeah. And what did they do for work?
My dad's an engineer. He works for the Missile Defense Agency, and my mom worked for NASA.
Okay.
So yeah, both full time, working
on the arsenal.
Yeah. Yes.
Got it. Okay, so you take the helm, and mm-hmm. I guess now, like, maybe one thing that I think I've learned in my career is there's nothing. I shouldn't say nothing. I'm trying to be really careful, like, with words you use, because I think we sometimes we just say things and like
words have meaning. I completely agree. Yeah,
it is amazing when you have an opportunity to have someone who believes in you at a company, mm-hmm. and they truly have your best interest.
Oh yeah,
in mind.
Yes, yeah.
And it's not you're playing this. What's their agenda?
Yes.
Why are they patronizing me? And I've seen that when I moved here. Just kind of, who are your friends, mm-hmm. and who are some people who just want something from you?
Oh yeah.
And then when you like counsel someone who kind of you're mentoring, and that like there's that aha moment where you're like,
oh yeah,
you just have to evaluate all of these relationships or the associations, and how did they come to be, and why, and what do they want out of it, And I think for Joe, it's like and now that I've spent enough time with him, like it's you have to have that complement, right, and strengths and weaknesses, mm-hmm. and things he's really good at, things he's not. And we'll talk about Slicing Through Adversity, his book, you know. But I told him that the audio version of that is all the episodes we've done.
Literally,
I think, really.
Yes.
But and how awesome for you to mm-hmm. kind of be the beneficiary of that, because it's so rare.
Oh my gosh!
And it's becoming more and more rare with loyalty, and you just hear I just hear heartbreaking stories from friends, or it's like, really, like your boss just fired you right before you hit your 20-year pension, and like mm-hmm. what world are we living in? But so what did you right away? Like, let's just kind of now you're in the GM role, mm-hmm. whether it was official or not. Yeah. What are those things where you're like, okay, I need to focus on these areas of Valentina's and the operations?
Yeah. So it was a whirlwind. It was just me and Joe. Joe was, working. He's a very hands-on owner, as you know. He's actually on the line every night. Yeah. He's very hands-on. So building the new store and while having the old store still open, and then dealing with the city, it was a lot. And kind of like you were saying, Joe is a very, call him kind of like a unicorn in the aspect of he'll trust you. Like he'll give it over. He had to put a lot of trust and faith in me, and mm-hmm. I'm very, very appreciative of it. And it wasn't something I took lightly, especially with, having the love and respect for him, but then also having Valentina's name on the door. It hits a little bit different when you have your child's name on the door. Mm-hmm. And just having that trust and relationship with him, and him knowing, or me knowing that he trusted me enough to be like, hey, here's everything. Like, this is my dream. This is what I want to do. This is my goals. Sit down, we kind of drafted a plan together, and he just let me roll with it. And that's very rare, especially when it's a restaurant that size, and I had no experience. Like, mm-hmm. I've never ran a restaurant before. Like, I was learning as I go, and he's taught me everything I know, and some other great people in the community. But it was a lot, a lot of work, from building everything from the ground up and dealing with permits and things that you wouldn't even think of, buying, measuring cups to glasses to tables to literally your first food order of starting from scratch, basically. Like, it was a lot. But like I said, Joe really gave, and he still does, give me the freedom to, hey, I know the goal, I know the mission, I know, the plan, and he trusts me to align with him, which is very, very rare. And I don't take that for granted at all. I tell people all the time that I'm very lucky because it's very, very fortunate. I can do what I want and just know that it aligns, and he has my back of like, hey, this is where I want to go. You get there, with me, which is very, very fortunate. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and you learn, and you have, we went from 1,000 square feet to 4,000. We went from about 15 employees to about 50. So a lot of the personalities and training and systems and all that, it's a learning process and a growing process. And you lean on him for being in the industry 30 plus years. And then he's, made a lot of mistakes. He'll tell you that. His book is incredible. He puts everything in there, so he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And he's really grown to the place of bringing people on. We have Brian Robinson as a business coach, and he's amazing. And, it's not the typical service industry. I've been very fortunate where I don't have any other service industry experience. So I hear the horror stories of people coming in being like, oh, I worked for restaurants 20 plus years and we do this and that. And it's awful, people yelling and throwing things and all that. We don't do that at Valentina's. We are not perfect by any means. Our way is not right or wrong or better or worse. It's just our way. Joe really takes good care of us to, make it a career. And, we have an IRA plan and paid time off, and, it's and health benefits, it's incredible. But he's really allowed that to happen, so we've really grown to a point of, being our own thing and always still growing every day. Me and Joe are very competitive people. Every day is a new day. Every day is the new day to be excellent. What happened yesterday is yesterday, and today is, move forward. So yeah, it's been. Did
you have a lot of say in the design and decor?
Oh yeah.
And let me preface it by saying this, because I'll go into a lot of restaurants and they're like, it's obviously you have to spend some money.
Yes.
And to like have people, there's almost like a feeling you can just come in and be like, is this a good place or not a good place? And I don't know enough of it. I feel it though. I feel when there's quality, and I feel like, let's just pick on like an Outback Steakhouse. I know there's a consistency there for the most part anywhere I go in the country, in the way they do their training and stuff. Like, you just feel like you're gonna have good service, and it's a good environment, whatever. And then other places, where just people struggle and they can't seem to get out of their own way. I've always felt like, and in talking with Joe, and what I observe is there is a and it starts with the pizza, which is backing up the quality of the decor. It's an awesome restaurant.
Thank you.
It's just really, it's, and like you said, it's not trivial to pick out glasses or silverware or whatever, the bar or the trim, and where you're going to hang pictures and stuff, and the brick, and like it's like, and that's, I think, in part why it does so well. And so talk me through that.
Yeah. Literally from picking out everything, brick color, like you said, like it was from the ground up. Again, very fortunate. Joe kind of gave me the keys to the car.
It's like building your own house.
Literally. Yeah. I know it was fun. Who doesn't want to pick out everything? It was stressful, but very, very fun. He had a vision that he wanted to go for. He likes very, if you ever come into Valentina's, it's a lot of masculine. It's very, leathers and dark woods, bricks, a lot of textures and stuff. So he kind of gave me the idea of what he wanted it to look like, and then I just took it and ran. We did a lot of local stuff. Our tables are from a local guy out in Coleman. Incredible. They're all handmade. It was important for him, like nothing wrong with getting the stuff at Home Depot or IKEA or whatever, but he wanted you to come in and it be different.
Yeah.
He didn't want you to be like, oh, they got that at IKEA, or that's the restaurant table supply store, whatever. He wanted character to it. He wanted it to feel personal. He kind of wanted it to feel like, you're going into his home. You're at our family table. We're here to serve you. Everyone's welcome there. So yeah, we did a lot of the local stuff and a lot of everything from the ground up, going to the brick store, picking it out. It was a full process, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite part of the process? And or least, and second question, least favorite.
Yeah. So in hindsight, doing it again, we know a lot of mistakes we made the first time. Like for instance, our bar, it's beautiful. It's it's a circle bar. We have a garage door that, goes up, and you think of the design aspect. It's absolutely beautiful. Have the indoor outdoor seating. It's all indoor now because we enclosed our patio, but you don't think of the actual bartender, and you're like, oh crap, now he doesn't have a back bar. So everything we store is underneath or, up top, whatever. So it adds a little bit of a challenge. So the best part was buying everything. You love, getting the plates and this and that and like the imagining. The hardest part was definitely the end of the process with the city. We had to annex in, we built in Limestone County. And limestone's dry, so we had to annex into Huntsville City at the very end, and there was several hiccups in that. So that was not very fun, but we got through it. We always find a way. We always open on time. But yeah, I joke with Joe saying, "Hey, I'll do it again." Like all the stress and all that, we'll do it again. Easy. Your
law background came in play for that.
Yeah. Quite a bit, yeah. Quite a bit.
Maybe called some friends for some consults.
Yeah, quite a bit there. It was a very stressful situation, and then some people not clarifying and talking to people throughout the whole process, which is fine, but
and then the you go from a smaller store. Unfortunately, the Portnoy mural is awesome, and the other mural is awesome that was on the side, right? It's kind of Alabama.
Yes.
With Charles Barkley and Saban and just all kinds of stuff. But you're like, well, will they fill it up? And then boom, like immediately, it's like the pent up demand. Okay, maybe people were holding back because they've been there before and there wasn't a place to sit in the smaller store. And now the next thing you know, like immediately you have parking issues.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a big enough parking lot.
Yeah.
And it was gravel at first. Right now it's paved, but holy smokes. I mean, were you, I'm sure you are hoping that would be a problem, but were you expecting it to be like that much of an issue, like from go?
Yes and no. Like you always hope, but you don't know till you know. At the old store, we would have 2-hour waits, 3-hour waits because we had 7 tables. Like we were teeny. And we were always shocked that people would wait.
They'd sit there for 3 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
It was incredible. At our new store now, we still have, waits and, hour and a half, and people will wait, and we're very, very thankful and blessed for that. I think a little bit of the reason is we're in the middle of nowhere. We're literally across from a cornfield. So it's not like you're going to Bridge Street and you're like, oh, I'll just go to this restaurant over here. Yeah. They're going to grab a drink at the bar and sit outside and enjoy the nice weather or when it's good weather. Today is pretty good, but you always hope and you're like, okay, well, we have all these seats now, like gotta have for the people to come, and then for the community to show up and really fill those seats. It's incredible because like I said, we are a little bit in the middle of nowhere. You come just for us. There's nothing. It's not like you're just shopping at Bridge Street and going to eat, So we're very, very fortunate, very blessed to still we have a great regulars. We have really good, customer base. And then we have the new people that come in as well that, we create relationships with them to help turn them into regulars. And, we try and remember the names and remember the orders and all that and create that personal relationship with them. That I think is very important with a mom and pop. You can tell a difference between a chain and a mom and pop really easily or really quickly. So we really try and strive to have that connection with them. And like I said, you're at our family table. We're here to serve you. But it's, a lot of conversations happen around the dinner table. Yeah. So we're very, very fortunate to have you a part of our dinner table.
I should give props to the Women in Pizza podcast that you were on a podcast like a year ago. And I thought it was a really cool format because I wasn't sure at some point who was interviewing who. Yeah. But you were kind of both interviewing each other. It's almost like here's two people, and we're going to get to the competition part in a minute, that have different restaurants and they're kind of meeting each other for the first time and they're somewhat interviewing each other.
Yes.
I'm like, that's kind of a neat concept.
Yeah, Anna, she's incredible.
I'm offended no other podcast host has reached out to say, hey, we should like interview each other. Like that'd be cool. But
it's coming.
The thing that I think you mentioned, or it's a no-brainer, right? You're going to find pizza anywhere. We're probably not going to, like, I travel to DC a lot, and I like kebabs, like Afghan kebabs, and I like Thai food, and there's like some of that here, right? And I'm not one who's gonna poo-poo like, oh, there's no food options here. Like, I love living here.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it's going to take a while for certain
yes.
more ethnic foods, whatever, to move in. But pizza is something that we've all had a lot of pizza. We've had school
like
pizza,
food,
like literally every day when I was growing up in school. I'm sure there's a slice of pizza was an option for lunch. And then you've had amusement park pizza, and then you've had really nice pizza. And so like we're all our own connoisseurs, if you will. And so we move here. I think I found out about Valentina's through a guy that Joe Donato, shout out to Joe, who all the Italians are named Joe. And he told me you got to interview Joe Carlucci because I just started the podcast. So we go to Valentina's, and maybe you served us. I don't know. But it's like I tell people, you're going to take a bite and be like, well, wait a minute. This is remarkable. Like this is different.
Yes.
I've never had anything like this. And I think I'm one of those food people that because I came from DC, and I would say there's nothing that's like a DC dish or Northern Virginia dish. Somewhere in Virginia, we grow ham and peanuts, I guess, or have ham and peanuts. But like when I think of Philly, then I want to seek out the best, the most authentic, proper Philly cheesesteak.
Right.
I know Dave Portnoy does this, like who has the best New York style pizza?
Yeah.
I'm kind of one of those people. Like I will go somewhere, they say it's New York style. Let me try it. Let me be my own judge. And I just thought people were like, isn't it more expensive? I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Thank you.
And so that's just what's amazing to like, I think there's that following, right? Like, yeah. And it's also like the competition of, I think Domino's actually just filed for bankruptcy or that portion of it. I don't know what chapter they filed for, but I was in the 80s. I was a kid when like delivery pizza became a thing. And there was all this war between Domino's and Pizza Hut, and I guess Papa John's kind of came later. But Domino's was like advertising like crazy. But and you come home, let's say you're tired, and your family's hungry. Let's just order pizza and have it delivered.
Yeah.
But it's different if it's like we're going to take you out for like an experience, right? And that's what it's all about. So if they have even more regulars, that's amazing. I told Joe I had to stop eating last year because I was trying to lose weight. And it's just too many carbs, so I can't slow down.
Yeah.
But it's just again going back to the quality, and I know that like because the dough is different, right? Like if you start understanding it, you know what? Let's transition to that now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the competition because I think it's amazing that you went out 3 years ago or 2 years ago. You've been at 3 times you've competed.
Yes.
And I think you've placed every time, right?
Yes. Very fortunate. Yes.
And most recently, because I actually have the pictures. I think I have a picture from. Yeah. Here we go. This is from your all's Facebook, I think. So there you are making the pizza. But so if you've caught episode 22 or 57 with Joe, 100, and I think he was here for 125. He can't compete anymore in Vegas because he's won he's won everything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to him that the Our Town pizza is a menu item.
Yes.
You have your own Camryn.
Yes. Yep.
Your own things on the menu. Yeah. Was that award winner from last year or the year before?
No, we were just doing some menu changes, and it was a pepperoni pizza, and my family, my dad actually would nickname me as a kid Camryn Pepperoni. So I told Joe about the story, and he's like, the Camryn, and I was like, yeah. So
I just think it's amazing that someone adds to your story too, that you go out and compete against these people. And it all has to come down to ingredients and know-how and stuff. And so here you are, a newcomer, and already you're a debut, you win something in a category, right? Yeah. And then most recently, last week you got back?
Yes. Yeah, we got back Friday. Yeah.
So why don't we start with this trip?
Yeah.
And we can touch on the other ones, but you talk us through the category you competed in, and let's just go from there.
Yeah. So the International Pizza Expo is in Vegas every year. It's a huge event. People literally come from all over the world. It's a world competition. I competed in non-traditional and traditional this year. So traditional is kind of like you think traditional pie. Your red base, 2 toppings, very kind of simple, complex, but simple. Non-traditional is anything goes. No rules. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
So I competed in both and was very shocked and fortunate to win in both. It has never happened before. People literally work their whole lives. I mean, Joe competed 20 years before he started winning, and he's very vocal about that. So for me to place every year is incredible, and it's unheard of, and I'm very, very thankful for it. But I give Joe a lot of credit and a lot of other pizza makers that I've learned from, because I learn and listen from them, so I don't have to make the same mistakes that they did.
And just to set the scene, you knew what you were going to make, so it's just a matter of showing up and then within the time making it.
Kind of, yes. So we're a little bit unconventional when it comes to competing. We bring our dough, of course. We use Caputo flour. It's, a reason why our pizza is different than from a Domino's or a Papa John's or whatever. We use Italian flour, non-bromated, non-bleached. It's an incredible flour. So we use that. We bring our dough. We have a whole process to it. Put it on ice, different hotel room. Like, it's a whole big thing.
It's in your carry-on too.
Yes, it's a whole big thing. It's a very big science to it. It's not just a simple dough ball situation.
Right.
But then the flavors start playing around. Joe's talking about some flavor ideas, and he puts my input in there. And we just kind of go back and forth and just kind of figure out, what worked last year, what other people have won with, what he won with. So this year for traditional, we decided on a hot honey sausage with yellow and red peppadews. It's kind of like a sweet and spicy feel, a little bit similar to the award winner that's on our menu already that he won with. It was hot sausage and red peppadews for him. Placed 13th in the world and then first in the region with that, which was amazing and very, very fortunate for that. It was beautiful pizza. I was very proud of it. It was nice. It was a good looking pizza. And,
did you get to eat it?
No, I'm superstitious on that. I don't eat my own pizza.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds bad. I eat it at the store and stuff, but when I compete, I cut it and give it out, but I don't eat it. It's a weird superstition. But then the next day, that was on Tuesday. The results come out on Tuesday. So I was on a high from that. And then Wednesday, I competed in non-traditional, and that anything goes on that. So I did a steak pizza. So I did a garlic butter base with some smoked provolone, smoked mozzarella, filet mignon, caramelized onions, mushrooms, and then topped it with a little bit of arugula microgreens, and then brushed the crust with the bone marrow butter. Beautiful pizza as well, if I say so myself. It was really nice. I was happy with that one as well.
Is one of them at all?
Yes. Yeah. The bottom. Okay. So the unbaked one is the traditional, that first one. And then the one I'm topping is the non-traditional. We'll have some more reels coming out here pretty soon. Jessica, she does all that for us and she's amazing. So you'll see some more pictures and video coming soon. But I was really happy with it. And to just kind of put in perspective, like how close this competition is, I got 9th, very, very happy with it in the world. And then I got first in the region, which again, incredible. And to win both categories like that was shocking to say the least.
So it's not country, it's world or region.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the actual United States are divided into regions. And then we also have an international category. And then everyone gets lumped up.
Okay.
So I got 9th in the world for non-traditional, 13th for traditional, and then first in the region for both, which again.
And remind, you have an hour to do this?
Roughly 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
It's a very chaotic competition because they have multiple competitions going on at the same time. So it's a super close competition. Like literally the top 10 in non-traditional were all separated like by a point. Like it was very, 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 very tight. But they have multiple competitions going on at the same time. So you have literally like 20 tables of competitors and they're just calling numbers out because it's all a blind competition. They don't know who's competing. You just have a number. You put on a note card. You write your pizza down, send it back to the judges and pray that those 3 judges like your pizza. But it's a very fast process. You have roughly 20 to 30 minutes. I usually go a little bit quicker because, I just get out there, get it done and don't really dilly-dally too much. But it's a very stressful situation and chaotic situation because like I said, they have like when the traditional was going on, the pan pizza was also going on. So there was a lot, you have to navigate your ovens and navigate your cook time and make sure your temperature is right where it should be and all that. But it's an incredible experience. There's people that have competed, 20 plus years and, the energy is really, really incredible because, you have that kind of nervous energy of everybody, but then everyone is just like cheering each other on of, oh, your pizza looks great. Or what are you doing? Whatever. Yeah. So it's a really incredible experience. That's for sure. Yeah.
Joe, I guess it was 2 years ago when he came back because he had won everything.
Yes.
I think it was 2 years ago because I went on sabbatical with the podcast, but, he was talking about how, I guess it's part of the World Pizza Champions,
Yes,
right? Which is nice.
Yeah.
Are you a member of that?
I'm not. No.
Do you want to be?
You never know what the future holds. They're an incredible group of people.
Yeah.
Just to be in that conversation is incredible and would be incredible, because there are some really great pizza makers on that team. And, Joe, of course, was one of the 5 founding members. So it's always a little bit of an honor just to work for him, to kind of have that knowledge from him. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, he made a comment because he was about to take the pizza out of the oven, and then was like, one of the World Pizza Champions was there kind of observing. And I think he was even competing. He had already maybe finished his pizza or something. He was like, hey, give it 10 more seconds. And he was like, give it 10 more seconds. Now, it's like, just like you're saying, that window of perfection, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds too long in the oven. And just to have someone that you're nervous and everything, and someone just to be like there as a backup, right? Source of, wisdom and knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Put you at peace and like, now do it. Got it.
Yeah.
And it worked, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe was right there. Usually he works the show. The pizza games are going on as well. RJ, our bartender, he competed in that and he did incredible in the games. But he had a little bit of a break, so he came over and helped me make my pizza. Well, not help me make it, but you know what I mean. Like he was coaching me through it.
Sure.
But literally everything from, hey, move that strand of cheese over just a little bit. The details really, really matter. Especially with 100+ people in each category, those judges, like the small little things matter. If it's slightly overbaked or slightly underbaked, or if the cut's weird, whatever. It really, like I said, the non-traditional was separated by a point for 10 spots. So like those little 0.1s, they matter, and it can really change the outcome of everything.
Were there more women competing this year?
A little bit. I don't know for sure, so I'm saying don't quote me on podcast. But I think I may have been the only woman that placed.
Really?
I think I heard someone tell me that. So I was like, I don't know. I need to go check. One of the sponsors told me that. And I was like, I don't know about that. There has to be other people. There has to be, But there's quite a few. There's quite a few women on Joe's team that are incredible, that they compete. So yeah, it's a good mix of people from all over the world. Yeah.
Background on the Pizza Champions, which is the genius of Tony Gimignani, right? Who's like the pizza god.
The guy, yeah.
He, I guess, told Joe, like, I got this idea. We're going to call the World Pizza Champions. Like, so you guys didn't really win anything. He's like, no.
No.
We just call ourselves that. Like, that's genius.
Yeah.
And you start, so it's like you create this mystique. And people are very intrigued that Pizza Champions.
Oh, yeah. And they have, the jackets, and it's a coveted thing. It's an honor to be asked, because like I said, it's the best of the best. And
gotcha.
The 5 started it, and now I think I can't remember exactly the numbers, but I mean, they're well over probably 100 people on the team. They added 7 more in Vegas. That's kind of where you get inducted and asked and stuff. And just see the joy on their face of like, yeah, I'm a member, and they put on their jackets and stuff. It's incredible. Yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
Very cool.
So then, which hotel was it at?
So it's at the convention center.
It's at the convention.
Yes,
okay.
It's huge.
So it's by the Venetian.
Yeah. Yes, it's massive. Like it's the whole West Hall. It has everything from. They actually added a gelato competition this year, which was nice.
Oh, cool.
But they have a sandwich competition. They have the gelato now. They have, of course, all the pizza stuff, and then they have the games as well. So it's an incredible show. Like, you don't have to be in the pizza industry to go. Because you can watch competition, whatever, and I always recommend people to go, because it's kind of like, what,
Did your parents come?
No, not this year. They were going to. My dad was out of town for work, and it just didn't work out with my mom's. But she was, both of them. We have a family group chat. They were texting the whole time. Did you go yet? Where you go? Like, it was the whole big thing.
Tell your mom, like, she should have been there.
I know.
That's her. She's supposed to be there for everything you do.
Exactly. Come on, mom and dad.
So how did it feel just to compete? You're a big competitor.
Yes, I love competing. I live for it. I told Joe, I was like, I'll always compete. If you tell me to compete, I'll do it. I'll take your advice and make what you make, and tell me what you make. But I love it. Like the energy, it's game time. Like, it kind of gets you back in that feel of, okay, and you only have one shot. You make one pizza. Like, you don't have time to make 2. Like, you only bring one dough ball up there with you. Like, it's make or break.
Ovens are the same as ones you have here?
Yes. Yeah, they have like 10 different ovens that you can pick from. Okay. And, we use the Maraforne. So, I went out there, made sure my temperature is right, because everyone cooks on different temperatures, and all that. Sweep it out. But yeah, I love competing.
Before other than figure skating, was there some stuff you competed in that gap, like from when you did your last maybe competition or something? Or
not really. So you kind of get like an itch to compete.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I try and like when I served, I kind of made it a competition. Joe, again, takes care of his staff really well, and he would do like bingo for the servers. Like if you sell certain things tonight, you get a bonus type of thing. Mm-hmm. And whenever I would hit him, Joe would be like, "Okay, here's your bonus." Like, I don't want the money, I just want to win. Like, so you can make every life things competitive.
Were you practicing at the store when you could? Or did you not really practice much?
No, which is it's very not practical. Like it's very impractical what we do. I try not to. I've noticed the more I do it, I'll get in my head. So I kind of map it out, visualize it, and then just go for it type of situation. Usually we test it out at the store, and like when we went to Ohio when I did dessert pizza for the first time. I tested out at the store because usually the staff is like, I want to eat it. They always like to taste it first. This year was a little bit crazy and I didn't have as much time to do it as usual. But yeah, usually we test it out and do a few tweaks because, visually how it cooks and, colors and all that matters.
Do you eat your practice pizza or no?
Yes, I do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
But
not the real thing though. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know why. I think it's because I saw Joe do it and then it worked for him.
Yeah.
So he never ate his pizzas. But also one of the things is he's allergic to shellfish. So his winning Pizza Maker of the Year one was crab and lobster and stuff. So I ate that one for him. It was amazing. Yeah. I gladly was in line for that one.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because in that podcast you were talking to the other lady, forgot her name, but you win, and then it's like all your customers want that.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't know if I'm going to buy a lot of crab and lobster meat.
It's a little hard in North Alabama.
You may not like it if we kind of go cheap and get the the cheap meat.
Yeah.
You'll see right through
exactly. But like this one, what? Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
While I have them here, and this is kind of hopefully for your staff to get to know you a little bit better. But do you have any phobias?
Phobias.
Give me a phobia. If you're scared of anything.
I don't like clowns, but that's kind of normal. Yeah, I don't feel like any people really like clowns. I don't know. Yeah, because I can do spiders and all the bugs and stuff. I can do heights.
Closed spaces.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest one. I like to be. If someone closed me like in a coffin or a suitcase. I don't know. I don't know if I could.
Yeah. I mean, usually I will say you don't realize until you watch like these weird videos or something. You know how like some random stuff pops up on social media, and for some reason, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like cave diving or digging or something. And these like rock climbers, like incredible athletes, are squeezing their bodies within like this much, like it's teeny like inches, and they're like crawling in there head first, not really knowing if there's an out on the other side.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, maybe that is not for me. Could you, and like not being able to move and you're like shimmying out.
I just saw this thing on, how like you get your feeds of your memes or whatever, right? And like you stumble upon videos, and this guy put a camera like on this big snake somewhere, and it goes, he like releases it, and it goes, and it's like in a hole, but it's got a light and a camera, and like he's like traveling down this hole, and then you can see another snake just like it going that way, like it's a highway. You're like, oh, and then it gets to where all the eggs are and all the other snakes. You're like, oh, yeah, I don't like snakes that much.
I guess
even though like, well, they're not going to attack you. Like, okay, but if they do, that's
I'm not going to willingly put myself in that situation.
What's your favorite animal?
This is going to be a weird one. Manatees.
Wow.
I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, whenever we would go to like aquariums, or we were a big Disney family, we would do that a lot. I would love to always go see the manatees, and it would always upset me that at Disney they didn't have manatees. I loved manatees. I don't know why, but yeah.
I was going to ask you a similar question. Like, if you were to open a zoo, what's one animal you would not want to have?
Birds.
Birds? Like
you said that maybe aviary? That's the phobia.
Birds.
They just. Oof.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
And my grandmother loved birds. So like at her house, she would have, the bird feeders and everything. And she had a beautiful sunroom that she would just watch them all day, like living her best life. And I don't know, something about birds.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to be Did you? Let me ask you a figure skating question.
Yeah.
It was like, did you like double toe loop, double sow cow, like or triple? Like
All
what
the
was
stuff.
all those things?
No, I was not a triple girl. I was not, but I
Doubles?
was a good jumper.
Okay.
I was a very good jumper. My coach, Ginger, she would always joke with me. She's like, "You jump like a man," like because I had good power behind me, and like you would hear me. Like I skated with good power, and I loved jumping. Like who won it? You know what I mean? So yeah. It was,
Okay. So but did you dream of like performing in a long program or something in the Olympics? Did you
yes
ever
and
dream
no.
about that?
Like I'm a realistic person. I didn't start skating when I was 3 and have like, this grand training program and,
Or I guess
it's a different person, but I always like, my thing was I did love to perform. And like for us, we did the Nutcracker every year. And like, if you got Clara, you were like the creme de la creme, So like, those were always and you had the beautiful dress, and all that.
So it doesn't matter what stage it was, it doesn't have the Olympics,
Yeah.
but if maybe you got to do this, but like what song would you skate to and like what would your color choice be in your outfit?
Okay. Let's see.
I don't get to interview a lot of figure skaters. It's exciting.
Yeah. Actually, one of the songs I did perform to, which was an incredible number, was Amazing Grace. And it was the BYU version of it. They have an incredible like a cappella version. And it's just like breathtaking. And I did it for actually my senior year program at our spring recital. And people will still, like when I was there Sunday, one of the moms actually came up to me and was like, I still remember that program you did. And it was very simple, but very elegant and very like intentional with the movements. Ginger choreographed it for me, and it was very, like I said, very simple but intentional. Every note had a meaning, and it's of course skating to Amazing Grace. I mean, like you can't get much better than that. But it was actually funny because my mom and Ginger, they're like the queen of like reusing stuff and like bright ideas and like all that. And the dress I wore for that was actually my maid of honor dress for my sister's wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, we took it, we chopped it off because it was this beautiful like blue flowy dress. We chopped it off and we made it a skating dress.
neat.
So it's funny because it was
Repurposed.
Yeah, we repurposed it, and I got 2 wears out of it instead of just 1 or 3. We had a couple shows, but yeah, probably something more. More like that, more, Amazing Grace style or more, or maybe like a Dean Martin song or like Frank Sinatra. Like I like music with like soul to it. So you can have the intentional meanings and lyrical aspect and emotional aspect to it. But yeah, I was the queen of black dresses. I loved black velvet. It was like my thing. And a little trick is you turn the velvet upside down. It's like when you get the piece of fabric, it looks very shiny and it's kind of like aggressive. If you flip it upside down and make your dress that way, it has a better sheen to it. Yeah.
Who sang that song, Black Velvet?
Yes.
Who was that?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Goodness. It's gonna come to me right after I walk out.
She's
of
not
the
a
room.
one-hit. Was she a one-hit wonder?
Oh goodness.
I probably saw the video on MTV 1,000 times.
Yes.
I can't think of the name.
Yeah. And the people are going crazy, like typing in the comments. It's,
Let me ask you this: one person, if you could go back and because you didn't get the opportunity to thank them, who would you want to thank?
Oh goodness. One person.
Whether that was how they shaped you or it was a specific,
That's a tough one because I'm very, very fortunate to have both my parents still in my life. They're both alive and well. So, oh goodness, that's a hard one.
You were good at extending your gratitude along the way?
Yeah, I really try, especially in the last couple of years. I've really, really tried to make people know, like, hey, I appreciate you. I love you. My parents were very good at that growing up. Every morning when my dad dropped us off, hey, love you, proud of you. Every morning my mom would do the same thing. So I was very, very fortunate. It's kind of, unfortunately, an anomaly in today's world.
Then let's do a different question.
Yeah.
Is there someone you would want to apologize to that you never did?
You have good questions. Apologize to.
You were a bully in class or something?
I wasn't.
You stole the lunch money?
I actually got I should not tell this story. I actually got in trouble in 6th grade because I hit a bully's head on the locker.
Really?
Yeah, she was so mean. And she was back talking, and I didn't even get in trouble for it. The teacher like turned the other head because she knew. She was like, so maybe I would apologize to her. That's a good person to apologize to. Like, I don't know what was going on in your life. You know, everyone's hurting. Everyone has something, you know, so I really try and, you know, show kindness to people. Actually, my screensaver is a Vex King quote about kindness because you never know what people are going through.
Yeah.
So I would probably apologize to her because I still remember that moment.
Did she
vividly. Cry? It was bad. And
blood? Was there blood?
No. But like I remember it vividly, and like I said, the teachers like pulled. Like, no, turn her head, like that, because she was so mean to everybody. So like going back, like hindsight's 2020. You know, you're in 6th grade. You know, you don't even know who you are at that point. You know, everyone's going through something. But if I would probably apologize to her and ask her like, "Hey, you okay today?"
Yeah.
You know, instead of just being like, "Move."
Let's do lunch sometime.
Yeah.
Let's just get over this.
You know, let's just talk it out. Like she never did anything to me, but I'm one of those people that like, if you don't pick on the little guy, like, you know. So she would always pick on everybody, but she knew because I surprisingly, you know, no surprise to you, had a mouth. You know, I would, I'm a very type A person that would speak up for myself. Like I didn't, you know, I'm the youngest. I had a brother and sister at home, you know, throwing me off 4-wheelers and stuff.
What's the Suggs nationality? What's the?
I always joke saying we're mutts. So I literally have, like everybody, literally everything. I have, you know, Native American on my dad's side, I have European on my mom's side. I would actually, that's something that I would like to go back and do. Me and my mom and my sister have talked about it a lot, kind of finding roots, because my mom's maiden name is Pendergraft, and there's actually a synagogue up in New York with Pendergraft name on it. So I know I have some like Jewish heritage and, you know, stuff like that, but you know, I know they came through Ellis Island, and it's always interesting to kind of find who you are. You know,
our name was changed at Ellis Island.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. We were Norwegian. And we were like a Syson.
Oh wow.
And, the next thing you know, like they took the town name that my great grandfather was from in Norway,
cool.
and BYE were the 3 middle letters of this 10-letter city name.
Wow.
And Bai became the name.
That's incredible.
There's a lot. There's not a lot, but there are Bais, and they all have ties to Minnesota because that's where they went to, and then they just kind of.
That's so cool. It's so cool to think about like how everything just happens. And
because people they make fun of your name, like, look, I mean,
I didn't pick it, like
somebody picked it.
I'm just down the line here.
Yeah,
but everything has a meaning. That's
all right. Here's my last one, and I've done this before. I don't know if you've watched any of my episodes, but this is one of my favorite. This is a hypothetical.
Okay.
So it is. It's a beautiful evening. Like last night was a beautiful evening.
Yeah.
So it's May, it's April. It's a beautiful evening. You're downtown.
Okay.
You're leaving the Probst Arena.
Okay.
Havoc game. Let's say it was a Havoc game. And you go to your car and you get in and you drive along that little road right in front of the Probst Arena and the concert hall and everything. But you're the only car on the road for some reason.
Right.
But there's people are coming from the Havoc game. There's people at Big Spring Park, and it's just everyone's out. You have your windows down, and you're cranking a song, and you're singing like to your heart's content out loud. You want everyone to know.
Yeah.
What song are you singing?
Oh, goodness. Okay. So this is such a woman answer. It depends. And an attorney answer. It depends. Probably like I was like the prime Disney Channel kid.
Okay.
Like back in its prime where they had Disney Channel original movies, all that. I loved Lizzie McGuire. I had Hilary Duff, amazing. Still to this day, she's amazing. Like, I don't know the girl, but you know, whatever. So in the Lizzie McGuire movie, the finale song, What Dreams Are Made Of, it's a banger. No matter you will sing it to the top of your lungs. I still to this day when it comes on, I remember every word. It's great. Hilary Duff actually just came out with another album, going to see her in concert in Franklin with one of my friends. Like, so excited for it. Like, it's my inner child. You know what I mean? And I think it more the fact it takes me back to, you know, being a kid and being carefree and all that. So What Dreams Are Made Of by Hilary Duff from the Lizzie McGuire movie, cranking it. Or The Show Must Go On by Queen.
That's on your list here you gave me.
Yeah, amazing. And then I was my grandfather. He was a Methodist preacher, so I was raised very much in the church. My mom had incredible faith. You know, I try and live every day by my faith. So I have a lot of gospel songs, like I'm a hymnal girl, from the short, the hymnals of I'll Fly Away. That's a banger. Like, I love someone writing a hymn and be like, yeah, I got it. So yeah, it would.
Queen, I was running yesterday and I'm always undecided. Like, okay, I've got 40 minutes or whatever. Like, wish I listened to and like trying to maximize this time. Sometimes it's podcasts, it's like prepare for a guest. And I forgot, like, for some reason, I've always known Queen has got these great songs, but every now and then I'll forget that Another One Bites the Dust is Queen. And you're like, man, they must have just sat back and said, okay, we want to be like in every sporting event. We are the champions and we will rock you and all this stuff.
No matter
and
what
you're
the song is.
Man.
Every single song is like a banger. Like, it's so good.
It's just phenomenal.
And his range, like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible. Yeah.
And then let's even, What a Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
What goes through your mind when you think about that song? By the way, so for the viewers, I asked her what her top 5 favorite songs were. Yeah. She wrote in and gave me the answer. So when I asked her the hypothetical, I wasn't really, you chose one from that list.
Yes.
So now we're going through the list.
Yeah.
So What Dreams Are Made Of was number 4 as far as what you put here. But Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World at number 2. But what's the meaning for you?
It's my alarm every morning. When I wake up, like everyone, you have the Amazon Alexa. It's my alarm. I just really try and set the tone of like, it's a wonderful world we're living in. Like, start the positivity, start the the gratefulness. I have it way better than most. Life could be a lot worse. And it's just a very calming, peaceful song, and it's just very, very simple but intentional. So yeah, it's my alarm every morning.
Let's use that maybe like the last topic we'll talk about. And I've got my show and tell down here, but I've got the pizza box.
Oh, awesome! Yes.
And I think this now really plays well as far as when you were in law and family law and children, right? Where it's one thing to hear it from Joe and his passion towards this, and Valentina, and hearing how different, right, can your lives be when you think about the way he grew up and the way you grew up.
Yes.
And now you come together in business and you're both passionate for different reasons, right, that have brought you to this. And it's unfortunate, like, you can't really run a clip and talk about that, and the algorithm's not choke on, like prevent it from going out.
Oh, yeah.
And, it violates something. And you're like, wow, this is crazy. But so my question is, and then you did the political boxes, which, depending on who you are, you can either say that's creative. That's cool. And then
they talked about it.
Or you're going to get the people who are like, I'm never going to come to Valentina's again. And, like, did you have a thick skin coming in to like, this isn't like new territory. We're like, oh man, like I've got to really prepare for the comments and or the customers who just come in and say whatever they say to you.
Yeah. I try and be very like realistic about it. I mean, you're always going to have that one bonehead person.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes back to that middle school bully. I really try and think, what do they have going on in their life? If a pizza box made them that mad, or if not getting the right pizza, or, whatever, this kind of small thing is making him that mad or that upset. Like, what else is going on? So I really try and like meet him halfway. Like, I hear you. Half the time I tell, my staff, like, people just want to be heard. They just want to be communicated with and heard and feel like, they matter. So I usually let the comments like roll off my back because people don't know me. People don't know Joe. They think they do. Yeah. My favorite is when Joe won his last, Best of the Best in Vegas. There was this one guy, he comments on everything. And it also kind of blows my mind. I'm like, you have nothing better to do. You hate this person so much that you're commenting on every single post. Like, a lot of your brain power is being used on someone you apparently don't like. But he was like, of course he won. The World Pizza Champions judged him. And that's not even close to being the truth. Like, the World Pizza Champions have nothing to do with any of his World Champion awards. Like, there's, it's not, the two don't even relate. But he's like so gung-ho on that. So I'm like, people don't even know what they're talking about half the time.
They just can't let others have success.
Yeah. And it's honestly sad to me because like I said, I let it go. I get more defensive when they talk about Joe. Like, no one really said anything about me because it's, it's more, Valentina's by Joe Corlucci. So, of course, he's going to be the more vocal one. But people don't know People don't know your heart, your intentions, or anything. And the people that matter, and they'll stay and they'll show up and show out for you. But the people who don't. But I really just try and extend the love and the kindness and it's okay. Like,
and to me, I appreciate, because it's, you're in an intense business,
yes,
on Tuesday through Saturday. And I know Joe's learned a lot over time. This is a great opportunity for him in his career to have lessons learned, come into Valentina and say, you know what, we're not going to work 7 days. We're going to work 5 days, and we're not going to be open for lunch. Which is the smart thing to do, right? Do what you're good at. You learn that in business school, right? Stick to your core capability. Don't offer other stuff yet. And then, there's progression, and over time you can introduce additional menu items, or you can open for lunch, right? But, just be careful. But then to also see the thought and the effort that goes into these promotions of the fundraisers and the causes is, you're certainly taking it beyond just the pizza, and, using a platform, if you will, to, and, it's like, at some point we have to be able to get past, like, this. I don't know if we're even capable anymore to get past a division.
And
it's just sad.
A shame. It's a shame. It's sad. Joe is very intentional with what he does.
Sure.
He's one of the best businessmen and business owners. But the pizza boxes, there was his friends saying, that's stupid. That's a dumb idea. You're going to go out of business. And why would you do that? You don't talk about this. I mean, with the political boxes, yes. But like, even with the human trafficking box, like, people are selling kids, and people are like, I don't want to talk about that at dinner. Like, why is your pizza box like this? I just want pizza. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, this is going on right around you. And so he pushes the envelope, and he'll always he'll talk to me about, hey, this is my idea. Like, are you okay, comfortable, whatever with it? And I'm always like, let's go for it, of course. And, actually in law school, my thesis was on, human trafficking and social media, how they correlate and who has the liability and stuff. So that kind of started the conversation with it. And he was like, oh yeah. And then he dug in, and it's really on his heart. And I think one of the reasons is because of Valentina, 13-year-old girl, and
sure,
she has a dollar amount. Like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah. I interviewed I interviewed this guy, Jonathan Macklin. He's out of Decatur, and he goes over to Zambia, to help with all these problems they have. They don't have enough water, digging wells, but also interviewing him and the child trafficking thing. Because what's happening in that part of the world is your kids will get sold because they're going to mine silicate somewhere for chips, microchips, and all that stuff, right? So popular. And, the chance of, at some point in the episode, I realized, like, wait a minute. So if your child even makes it to the age of 13, that's highly unlikely. I was like, yeah. Your parents will sell you, and they sell them into, child slavery, and then prostitution. It's it's crazy. It's legal. It's only illegal if let's just say it's a guy propositions the young prostitute, then it's legal. It's illegal if she does it. And you're just like, this is a country in the world.
Yeah.
And one thing we also talked about was how Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, went over there and they dug 166 fresh water wells.
Oh, wow.
And there was an article in a paper where the government officials in Zambia were like, how sad is this that we as a government can't take care of our own people, and we have to rely on a U.S. YouTuber to come over here and do what we should be doing for our citizens.
Yeah.
So the fact is, this exists.
And around the world, but also right here.
And that's happened. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I went to law school in Knoxville, they had a human trafficking organization there as a nonprofit that I helped out with, because people don't realize in Knoxville, it was very, very prevalent, because you have an interstate that goes to anywhere in the country, just right there. So you're gone. It's, and you think, oh, not in the United States. Like, what? This is America, greatest country in the world. It doesn't happen here, and it does. And it's, very, very sad. And it's something that needs to be talked about. And it's kind of, or not kind of, it is very eye-opening and shocking, because the first post we posted about that box, there was shadow banned on social media. And we got notifications of, hey, this isn't our community guidelines, and you have to take this down, yada, yada. And Joe was like, nope, we'll keep doing it every day. It's something that needs to be talked about. And it's something, like I said, it was very much on his heart, and it should be on everybody's heart. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, is it one of those things where you don't care until it happens to you?
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
unfortunately, yeah, it may be. Cause I mean, like I said, he had buddies like, why is this on your pizza box? They're coming for dinner to escape everything. Like, I don't want to talk to my daughter at the dinner table about, or my son, or my wife or whoever, it happens to all ages, but I don't want to talk to them about that at dinner. Like, I want to talk about their school day. Okay. Well, what happened if you went to school and she wasn't there to pick you up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are real things that unfortunately are going on in today's world that, you need to be aware of and advocate for. And
it's, I hope you don't find this as like a crude comparison, but when I interviewed, her name is Mimar, and she's from Thrive, Alabama, which is basically got its roots from those who have AIDS, right? And so in that episode, we talked about the rise of it that came from this one flight attendant in 1970, really striking, handsome man, right? And then people started getting infected, and there was this problem. It was becoming a big problem, and nothing was really happening until Rock Hudson got AIDS. And then all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, there's this actor, and he like, now let's do something.
All of a sudden, he has more value than the other person.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, the funding starts coming in that they need, and more awareness and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to. I don't understand why. Just like you said, I mean, it's underground. It's happening, and it may not be in your. You may not notice it. But what happens if it becomes more prevalent and more noticeable? And is it too late? What happens if your child? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand. So, any final thoughts or shout outs?
No, thank you for having me. It was incredible to be on this side of the mic instead of watching Joe's.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Sure.
And hopefully I win again and I can come back.
Yeah. Get Dylan. I guess we got a shout out to my son Dylan and my daughter-in-law Carrington, who both work there.
Yes, incredible. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get them to compete.
Yeah.
Did you ever cook growing up? I guess
Yes. Yeah.
So you did.
Yes.
Bake.
I'm a big baker. I love baking. We joke about it at the store because Joe is very much chef mentality. Like, he tastes as he goes. He's an incredible cook. But me, type A, I like measuring and weighing and stuff. So we actually make all of our desserts in house at the store, and we teach our staff to make them, and you taste the difference. That's one of the reasons why we're very proud of our menu, because it's made from scratch, and you can taste the difference and really go out happy.
There's some of them right there. That
go.
looks pretty dang good. Those are cannolis?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
You've got some sprinkles on one, some chocolate chips. What's on the other?
Pistachios.
Pistachios.
Yeah. It's a cannoli flight. You get all three.
Wow. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I know what I was going to say. I was telling my guests yesterday, I need to have a certificate, and I'll make it out to you to say, right now, this is your PR for the length of time on a podcast.
There you go.
So we're at like an hour and 24 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, but like most people have only done 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And I guess I like to know that you're going to set a record when you're on this show.
I like that.
To be able to
honestly,
go
it felt like 10 minutes.
Goes by fast, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I could talk all day.
All right. Well, hey, all the best.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We're huge fans.
Yes. Thank you.
I just, carbs are tough. I have to limit my pizza.
But it's Caputo. It's healthy.
But yeah, that's true, I guess. Or if I could eat it in moderation.
Yeah. And we have the meatballs, pure
Does my Our Town sell well?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Does it?
People love it.
Okay.
Yeah. People love it. And it's a beautiful pizza, the peppadews and the red. Yeah. People love it. And there's a story behind it. We like that mom and pop story vibe. All of our pizzas have a meaning of either it's Joe's niece or Valentina's friend or, me.
And it's tough. Every time I come in, I'm like, what do you want? Like, I want like 5 of them.
Yeah. We have several customers that will come in every week, and they're working their way down the menu. So, very thankful for that.
Yeah. All right, Camryn, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.